But I'm glad I got you here with me right now. I like good girls, I like good girls, but I love bad bitches.
Hello and good morning. Good motherfucking morning, you guys. It is actually 1:30 p.m., which for me is very much the morning on a Sunday, no less. Okay? I'm driving home from Brighton, and I just had a wonderful business meeting that went great. Back to the casa to stretch, take a nap before work. I'm gonna work in the night. Gathered us here today because Daddy needs to vent, okay? For fucking real, you guys. Like, it has been a treacherous really, honestly, since my birthday, you guys, I feel that I have been running myself into the ground. Oh no, I hate passing dead animals on the road. Oh my god, it makes me so sad. I just need to vent. Like, and this video is really for my industry girls and my industry girls only. Like, if you are not on the inside, or I guess I could say this for also her allies as well. Yeah, but like, if that's not you, keep on scrolling, babes. But if it is you, buckle up, guys, because I'm having my first motherfucking stripper burnout. Point blank period. It is what it is. What can I say? Firstly, I want to start by saying this. I fucking accidentally poisoned myself the other day by ingesting too many toxic fumes while I was deep cleaning my basement. And then I somehow went into anaphylactic shock. I think from ingesting probably cat litter dust. I don't know. And I literally started getting hives, my face, eyes, everything, tongue started, airways started closing. Had to take Benadryl. Obviously, I'm microdosing Benadryl throughout the day. And instead of staying home and recovering, I consumed 400 milligrams of caffeine and then went to work. And that, my friends, is a lesson on what not to do. What not to do. Okay? Literally a lesson on what not to do, because then you will fry your immune system and you will regret it. So let this just be a lesson to us all, okay? Learn from my mistakes. Sisters, brothers, come one, come all, okay? Like, holy fuck, you guys. I'm tired. My poor little immune system is like fried. And then also on top of it, I've just been experiencing I guess just what you would say, like a lot of very special types of clientele, special types of interactions. I'm very particular in my screening process, let's say. By the way, guys, this is my natural hair. I slept on it, so it's kind of dub. We are thriving over here in our wavy / somewhat curly hair journey, okay? As a stripper, I am entitled to select who I give my time and energy to, who and what and how and when, right? How much energy I give to said people that come into the establishment. So obviously, everybody wants a fucking piece of this. Clearly, it is. But not everybody can have a piece of this. Because, why, you may ask? Because there's always so much meat to go around, for number one. And for number two, like, energy exchange is fucking real. I don't care what you say. For me, stripping is very spiritual. Can associates, I should say, workplace associates, online, in person, whatever, I feel like a lot of the girlies agree to some degree stripping is very spiritual for me. This can be a very dark industry. There are pieces and parts of it we are seeing. Sometimes like the really people at their really like lowest points, which is an interesting way to experience humanity and really truly like the anthropology of it all. There could be so many studies done. I have encountered people who are very clearly in the middle of like a manic or psychotic episode. I have encountered people who are very likely going to go home and unalive themselves. I have encountered people who are very likely to, I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but like quite frankly, people have literally like confessed crimes to me. And typically, like now that I've been in the game for almost 2 years, my 2-year stripper birthday is coming up on July 30th. Yay! Happy early birthday to Brains! But, you know, nearly 2 years into the game, I have, I guess you could say, like, accumulated this knowledge and ways of, like, being even more cautious and taking more and more precautionary measures of, like, protecting myself and protecting my energy, which I didn't used to have all the time, okay? So, the good thing about becoming more like, I don't know what's the word, like stingent? I don't think that's really actually a word. The good thing about becoming a tighter ship, if you will, that it helps to avoid unnecessary energy change and just keep you out of like situations that are quite frankly no good for you and not worth it. And early on in my career, I was given this little token of wisdom by a very wise dancer who told me this. She said, Brinks, not all money is good money. I have definitely integrated that knowledge and now live by it, right? But unfortunately there are times where it's like unavoidable, where like you might be in the club and, you know, if it's a slower season, or for example right now, like we're obviously in a recession, the economy is where it is, and dancers, oh my god, hello? Okay, everybody's just slowing down for no freaking reason. Strippers are not on the high priority checklist for the average American, okay? Let's just be honest. What's numero uno? La familia, la casa, okay? Men care about their wives and their families first. The first budget to go is going to be play money, right? Because what are strippers? We are the fantasy, honey. So we are expendable. I think that's the right word I'm looking for. Or not a necessity. We are a luxury to be experienced and adored. Times where it's tighter, the club is slower, everybody's hungry, everybody's in the club. It's hunting season. You know what I'm saying? You're a lioness. You're in that bitch. It's calculated. I'm watching everyone who's coming in, everyone who's coming and going. I'm watching who's at the ATMs. I'm watching people's wallets. I'm checking all the little details, you know, that you go through your screening process of a potential mark, right? Of somebody that you want to approach, connect with. And on nights when it's like really super slow or the club is dead, maybe you do decide to take a chance and talk to the one person that you never would have talked to or whatever. And sometimes I might choose to consciously endure certain types of interactions or exchanges that maybe I don't necessarily prefer on like a busy poppin' night. Let's be honest, guys. Like, I'm a pole fucking princess. Like, I love the stage. That is my time to shine. It is my place to be. And that is my hustle. I love being able to get up, get on the stage, and talk to people without talking to them. That's what I always say. It's like, if I can get up there and feel the music, experience my feels, and share that and connect with the audience, that is how I feel like I make the most money. It's my favorite way to make money, is to express myself through movement and dance and share a little yummy, delicious, intimate moment through my performance. And I feel like it is my way of like sharing a part of myself, and it helps me to connect with the people who really feel me and connect with me and are in the same type of vibe. There are certain nights where you don't always have that privilege, and maybe you have to get a little scrappy and talk to the person that you might not normally talk to, kind of a thing. And I feel like, you know, lately, in doing so, I have found myself maybe in some situations that like are less than ideal and not pleasant, and you know, it's one of those things where like you might not realize that you're talking to a serial killer until it hits you and you're like, oh my god, this guy has got a couple of screws, this is super dark, yuck, you know. And I do really believe that there is such a thing as like an energy vampire, and I think a lot of men come into the strip club and, you know, they're attracted to obviously beautiful women, they're attracted to your light and your vitality, and I think it's super important to protect that at all costs, you know. Now obviously, like this one specific scenario that I'm like thinking of in my head, as soon as I realized, oh, this is what time it is, out of there, you know, shut it down. And I protect myself, and it's really, this is like a very important skill that I think I would like to see more women being open about, but it's one of those things where it's very tricky to speak about online because, you know, I'm coming to you guys as Sher, right? Like, I'm showing you the transparency of like both sides of this industry, of myself, of this character, of Brinks, like, and it's very layered and nuanced, and you know, locker room talk, things I overhear in the club, like other dancers like in distress or having a hard time or struggling or venting or complaining about certain situations that they're in. Like, I think there's a lot of trauma that can be avoided by honing in on your intuition and getting smarter and more consistent about your boundaries. And don't get me wrong, like, this is something that I have obviously learned over time and continuing to learn over time, and I want to like emphasize that, like, by no means am I coming on here on my fucking channel the expert stripper, whatever. Like, no, okay? This is just me literally sharing my experience, and in a lot of ways, like, by documenting this chapter of my life that I'm in, like, literally never did I ever fucking think that I would be stripping full-time at 29. That was not how I saw my life going. I love it here. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful to be in this chapter that I'm in. I'm also actively working on diversifying my income streams, so I'm not tied to the club full-time. But I've only been in the game for like 2 fucking years almost, you know, so for that, all things considered, like, I feel like I'm doing a pretty fucking great job. But that being said, it's like, I'm just speaking to you guys of the stuff that I observe and the things that I have interacted with other dancers in my sector of the community that I'm in. And I feel really strongly that, like, we can all use a refresher on the importance of boundaries. Because, like, the things that I hear repeatedly over and over and over again, or I see or observe, is a lot of violation and a lot of dancers realizing that they feel violated, like, after the fact. And sometimes that's how it works. Like, you don't really know that, like, oh, this is a boundary, even energetically speaking. Let's just take the physical out of it, right? You know, with time you can sharpen that skill. But I think it's a really good conversation to open up and have with each other, because a lot of things can be avoided. And I think in my case, like, man, I'm experiencing my first real burnout. Like, let's say it for what it is. I cried before going to work yesterday. I cried at work the shift before that, like, in the locker room, horizontally, tears just coming out of my eyeballs onto the floor because I was preserving my makeup. Shout out to my bestie T, because she's really great and they're groovy. But dude, like, if you know, this is my first, like I said, my first episode of stripper burnout. I always heard girls talking about it, and I never really, like, I understood, but I didn't, like, fully conceptualize everything. And, like, I'm telling you, dude, like, my soul is tired. And this is something that we were talking about in, I was attending this community circle through the Red Light Therapy app, or Red Light Therapy, I think it's just called Red Light. Maybe it is Red Light Therapy, I don't know. But I'll figure it out and put it below as a resource if you guys are curious. I love taking classes on there. I was part of the community circle a few weeks ago, and we were talking about experiencing burnout and sort of signs of it. And, like, you know, the other thing I feel like I've been noticing lately is, like, I'll get a bit more, like, performance anxiety, which I don't normally have. I mean, I've been, like, performing and competing since I was a kid, for dance, for equestrian, so I'm very familiar with, like, adrenaline and channeling it and getting your mind right, you know, before, like, a big moment. Breath work and all the different things that kind of go into the psychology of, like, creating a good performance. Oh my god, the car in front of me has 222. Love that. But, like, I started noticing, like, leading up to this, like, really ever, like I said, ever since my birthday, dude, like, I've just been tired. And my patience gets a little more thin, and then there's that feeling of, like, being there but, like, not really wanting to be there, and, you know, feeling like you're putting on this facade that's, like, not really what you feel on the inside. And especially, like, in a strip club, like, on the weekends especially, it's like you gotta channel up that whole party girl thing. And, you know, and it's not saying that you, like, have to be the party girl to, like, be successful, but, like, obviously that being the life of the party and, like, commanding a room and, like all that shit, it like really matters, you know. Knowing how to work a room is like very important. That in combination with whole skills and a stage set, like, and just general networking and connecting. There's a lot of layers socially. Also, let's sprinkle in the fact that I stopped drinking in December, which has honestly been like one of the best decisions I've made for myself in a really long time. I feel like my family has very like addictive personality traits. I don't know. I got my little heart broken, so like that's really why I stopped drinking. But just the effects of not drinking and being more sober and more present, like in the club environment, is like really huge. And it also wakes you up to a lot of things that maybe you weren't as keen on or privy to beforehand. Who knows? Maybe that is contributing a little bit to my burnout, so to say. Like, the energy to deal with drunk people when you don't drink is like, I'm exhausted right now just thinking about it. I had a bit of a little meltdown, like I said, yesterday before my shift. I was like, again, horizontally crying so I didn't ruin my glam, and voice noting my best friend, and she was telling me, like, giving me the best pep talk. We have such an incredible job and the flexibility is amazing, and we're so blessed to be able to utilize our beauty and brains and strengths and to capitalize on that at this point in our lives. We are navigating something that there really is like no blueprint for, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, that like the reality is not a lot of women make it out of this industry, let alone unscathed. And to be able to take something like this and turn it into a bigger vision of business takes a lot of hard work and dedication and focus and discipline. And I'm sort of like right in the middle of it, and I don't have all the answers, and I don't always feel like I know what I'm doing half the time, but I'm just doing it anyway. Something I was thinking about as I was driving to my meeting this morning applies to everything, not just this industry, but especially this industry. When you have decided that you are unwilling to sell your soul, when you prioritize your morals and your ethics and your boundaries and yourself over money, power, connections, and fame. A lot. Oh my god, there's like a giant puddle. Holy fuck. Okay, hang on guys. We're about to drive through a lake. I knew it was going to be raining more closer over here to the city. A lot of people are going to be very confused. A lot of people are going to be very angry. A lot of people are going to be pissed the fuck off. And that's okay. That is okay. You know, as the Mel Robbins scene goes, let them. Like, because when you pick you know, working in this industry and having boundaries and morals and all that shit, I've had so many people like literally I do is dance. Everybody's at a different place in their journey. That is a beautiful thing. What's important is that you stay tapped in to what works for you. And I feel like for me, like the stronger and more in tune with myself that I have gotten with my boundaries, like the better quality of connections I've been making, the better money I've been making, I feel more alive, more connected. So, all of that to say, there's like some restructuring things that I'm gonna be doing for a couple different reasons. Burnout being one of them. Hello? Okay. Oh. Me, can you focus on me? But yeah, burnout being one of them. Oh my God, Angela, there has been a crazy amount of rain that has occurred in this last 4 hours I have been away. But yeah, that being said, I have some things coming up that I'm really excited about that I'm not quite ready to share about yet, because I kind of just want to keep it private while I'm getting going. Some of you already know the chisme, but I will share more when I have more soon, when I can. But I'm restructuring sort of the days that I am working, and I'm going to be creating more of a schedule in hopes that I can maintain the longevity that I need to maximize my success and my time. And the theory is that by scaling back the number of days per week that I'm in a club, that I will be more well rested, I will have better recovery physically, right? Let's not even talk about the fucking physical exhaustion that comes from working in the club 5 or 6 days a week. Girl, my body is tired, okay? She's exhausted, she's battered, she's bruised, and I'm avoiding injury. I don't want to overwork. I don't want that at all. Hello? What is going on? There's so many puddles. Oh, hopefully I can like take you guys along the journey and update you as I'm working on rescheduling. I think the hardest thing is going to be mentally letting myself take the rest days. You're talking to someone who, when I was a kid, I would get yelled at for taking naps, and I was not allowed to sleep in ever on weekends or anything. So my subconscious has been ingrained that rest is bad. But as an adult, we know, as an adult, that rest is actually very good. And not only very good, it's very essential for you. So yeah, I know that like this is kind of a turning point for me, because I cannot continue on exhausting myself, and also I feel it at work, and I think my clients feel it too, like the people feel it too. Like there's this different feeling when you're like so juicy and magnetic and full of life and just happy to be there and happy to perform and happy to share your gifts, happy to connect, happy to prioritize the type of connections that you want in the club and make it work for you, versus feeling like, oh, I don't even want to be here right now, which is honestly how I've been feeling like for the last really the last few weeks has been the most intense, but the last couple months, like I feel like it's been leading up to this, and me just like feeling tired, and it's like one of the worst feelings ever when you feel exhausted and depleted and unappreciated, and then you're on this hamster wheel of like showing up extra days because when you were there before you didn't make the money that you wanted to make, and you know, you guys get it. Like, if you watch to the end of this video so far, you definitely, and let me know in the comments, like, if you guys have had if you guys have experienced your first like major stripper burnout, what was that like? Let me know, like, some tips and tricks and things that really helped you. Thankfully I have some really great, you know, guidance, and I feel pretty well equipped, and I feel like going into this shift, like really emphasizing like the focus on me and my wellness and my mental health and my physical health, and just rest and prioritizing, like, even just prioritizing nesting, guys, like fully moving into my house that I've lived in for a year. I just re-signed my lease. It's been a year. It's kind of crazy because I feel like in a lot of ways too, like, this is gonna sound wild, but the strip club is kind of like molding me into the woman that I'm like meant to be, and it's teaching me like so much, like so many really valuable lessons about life, about sales, about the type of woman I want to be, how I am perceived in the world, money, power, the fantasy, everything. So on that note, thank you guys all for watching and listening. Hopefully you can find some sort of community through this video. Like, seriously, thank you for listening. This industry can feel really isolating and lonely. Like, honestly, a lot of the times I feel really alone, and I think that hopefully by sharing just my experience, that even if just one person out there like watching this feels less alone and feels validated like in their experience as an S worker, that then like it's worth it, you know, for me to share this part of my life online with you guys. But yeah, I think it's really important to share just like the ups and the downs. Oh, and that's okay, see, this is the ADHD of it all. Jesus Christ. That's what T was telling me. She said, you know, like, this is part of what we signed up for. It's not always going to be the gorgeous, sparkly, dazzling, getting rained on wins, you know, oh, I just landed a whale and da-da-da-da. Like, it is going to have its ups and downs, and that's part of what we signed up for. So there is a big trade-off, and that this is just sort of, you know, learning how to navigate all of it, really, truly. And in a lot of ways, I'm really grateful that I didn't start dancing until I started when I was 27, you guys. So, like, if I would have started when I was younger, God knows, like, I'm sure I would have, like, really burnt myself out, like, super fast and bad. I'm grateful for it all, for the ups, the downs, this side of it too. I want to share this side of it with you guys because this is the reality, you know? It's not all glittery and sparkly and fucking perfect all the time, you know? But yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening and holding space and hanging out with me and listening to me vent. I am excited to get through like this burnout and like get in a really good solid place mentally, because I miss like, I used to, like, look forward to going in and, like, getting into character and, like, having fun and owning the stage, and lately I've just been feeling like, honestly, just like a fucking zoo animal who doesn't want to be there. But it's like, this is my job now, and I'm in it, you know. I don't have any other plan right now. I'm working on it. So yeah, here we are. And I know that there are brighter days ahead, and I'm excited to get more like structure and routine in my life, and like just more focus on the balance of it, so that I can show up as an even stronger performer, entertainer, and light worker. Because in a lot of ways it's crazy, but like I know that I'm like just getting started. So, and I'm in it for the long haul, baby. Like, we have a lot of shit to get done and a lot of money to make. So yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. I don't really know how to end this video, but I will see you in the next one. Bye.